All right, let's talk about one of the most powerful tools a project manager has, Earned Value Management, or EVM. We're going to see how it cuts through all the subjective noise, all the "I think we're doing okay," and turns your project data into decisions you can actually stand behind.
So think about this for a second. Is your project really on track? You might be getting updates that sound good, but how do you know for sure? Well, that's what EVM is all about. Because the numbers, they have a story to tell. And we're going to follow a case study to see exactly how that story unfolds.
Okay, so before we jump into any calculations, we really need to get our heads around why this matters so much. Earned value isn't just a bunch of formulas, it's a total game changer in how you see and steer your project. What's so cool about EVM is that it gives you this kind of superpower. It takes three huge things, your scope, your schedule, and your cost, and rolls them all into one clear picture. That means you can see problems coming from a mile away, make calls based on actual data instead of just a gut feeling, and build some serious trust with your team and your stakeholders, because everybody's looking at the same reality.
So let's get into our case study and see this thing in action. We're going to check in on a project at the end of month 4. Think of these numbers as the project's vital signs. They're the baseline measurements we need to give it a proper health check.
All right, here are the vitals. The total budget for the whole shebang, our budget at completion, or BAC, is $200,000. That's the finish line. According to the plan, our plan value, or PV, we should have completed $140,000 worth of work by now. But our earned value, the EV, shows we've only knocked out $120,000 worth of work. And to do that, our actual cost, the AC, is already at $150,000, so the stage is set.
Okay, we've got the vitals. Now it's time for the diagnosis. We're going to use these numbers to figure out a few key metrics that'll tell us the real story. So, what's really going on with this project? Let's find out.
First up, let's check the schedule with schedule variance, or SV. The formula couldn't be simpler. It's just earned value minus planned value. This tells us if we're on track, not in days or weeks, but in the actual value of work we've gotten done compared to our plan.
And the result is negative 20,000. Right away, that negative sign is our first big red flag. It means we're short 20,000 in value from where we were supposed to be. Plain and simple, we are behind schedule.
Next, let's follow the money with cost variance, or CV. This one is earned value minus actual cost. It's a direct shot at answering the question, for all the work we finished, did we spend more or less than we should have?
And the result here is negative 30,000. Whoa, that is an even bigger red flag. And negative cost variance means we are over budget. We've spent 30,000 more than the value of the work we have to show for it. This is not good.
Okay, so now we move from just looking at variances to looking at efficiency. Let's start with the Schedule Performance Index, or SPI. You get this by dividing your earned value by your planned value. You can think of this as your project's speed. A score of 1 means you're going exactly as fast as you planned.
Our SPI is 0.857. Since that's less than 1, it confirms what we already suspected. We're moving too slow. We're only progressing at about 86% of the speed we need to be. We're literally losing ground with every passing day.
And now for what might be the single most important metric of all, the Cost Performance Index, or CPI. This is your earned value divided by your actual cost. This tells you how much bang you're getting for your buck. How much project value are you actually earning for every single dollar you spend?
And our CPI is 0.8. This number is absolutely crucial. Here's what it means in plain English. For every single dollar we are spending on this project, we are only creating 80 cents of value. We are lighting 20 cents of every dollar on fire. That is a massive problem.
So, the diagnosis is pretty clear, right? We're behind schedule and we're over budget. But here's where EVM gets really powerful. It doesn't just tell you about the past, it helps you forecast the future. If we keep going like this, where is this project really going to end up? To see the future, we calculate the estimate at completion, or EAC. The simplest way to do this is to take our original budget, the BAC, and divide it by our cost efficiency, our CPI. This projects out our current terrible performance and gives us a new, brutally honest forecast for the total cost. And the math? Well, the math tells a pretty sobering story. Our new forecasted cost, the EAC, is now $250,000. Just a reminder, we started this thing with a budget of $200,000. This is the direct financial consequence of that 0.8 CPI. And when you put those two numbers side by side, the picture becomes painfully clear. We planned for $200,000, but our data is screaming that we're headed for $250,000. That $50,000 gap, that's our projected budget overrun if we don't change a thing.
Knowing you're headed for a $50,000 disaster is one thing, but it's not enough. The last and honestly the most important part of this is figuring out the game plan. We have the data. Now what on earth do we do about it? How do we get this project back on track? For that, we turn to one last metric, the Two-Complete Performance Index, or TCPI. You can think of this as the moment of truth. It tells us the exact cost efficiency we need to magically pull off on all the remaining work if we want any hope of hitting that original $200,000 budget.
The answer is 1.6. Just let that sink in for a second. Right now, we're operating at an efficiency of 0.8, getting 80 cents of value for every dollar. To save the budget, we have to suddenly, overnight, start performing at an efficiency of 1.6. That means generating $1.60 of value for every dollar spent from here on out. That's not just a big jump, it's practically impossible.
A TCPI of 1.6 isn't just a number. It's a blaring alarm, a giant wake-up call telling you that your original plan is broken. It's dead. Just hoping things will get better is not a strategy. This number proves, without a doubt, that you have to make a major change right now.
And this is exactly where EVM pushes you to act. The team now has to figure out the root cause of that terrible CPI. They've got to have the hard conversations about maybe cutting scope to meet the budget. They need to find efficiencies, and they have to start tracking these numbers weekly, not monthly. And at the end of the day, a decision has to be made. Do we accept the new $250,000 budget? Do we reduce scope? Or do we execute a massive recovery plan?
You see, a team that uses these tools can't be surprised by bad news because they see it coming. They can make precise decisions based on reality, not on wishful thinking. And having the tools and the courage to face these challenges head-on, well, that's the difference between an ordinary team and a professional team.